Venezuela's president Nicolas Maduro has offered to step down in order to be left alone by the Trump administration. He offered to step down within 3 years and be replaced by his president Delcy Rodriguez, and of course, America said no, we're not having it. And this looks so bad for North Korea, Iran, China, and Russia, that whole axis, because it shows how weak they really are. Think of it this way. Russia has invaded Ukraine since February of 2022. For 3 years, Ukraine has been incessantly bombarded by drone, missile attacks, airstrikes, soldiers butchering the people, and the Ukrainian president has not once offered to resign in any time period whatsoever. And look, Russia is right next to Ukraine, connected by land, while Venezuela is hundreds of miles away across the Caribbean from the United States. But even the threat of a U.S. invasion has prompted the offered resignation of President Maduro in a 3-year period. This shows the devastatingly low level of confidence that Maduro has in Russia, China, or any other country to have their back so they can endure any kind of assault from the United States, while Ukraine was able to deal with Russia right at its borders and hold them off with NATO assistance, which is predominantly antiquated military tech. What aid or support or any kind of resistance has Russia or China offered for Venezuela to deal with an American invasion? Go ahead, tell me, I'll wait. Venezuela's president already knew months ago that he was completely out of luck when he saw Russia's response and China's response towards Iran during the 12-day war. They offered nothing to such a crucial ally, a major supplier of weapons for Russia and oil for China, and they were pretty quiet. Russia is very close to Iran. They could have transported some kind of aid across the Caspian Sea or through any of the former Soviet states that are connected to Iran, but none of that was seen. And Nicolas Maduro sets the example for the other authoritarian leaders in this world. They talk a lot of smack, but then when push comes to shove, they back down. Look, about a month ago, Maduro said he was ready to fight, ready to declare Venezuela as a republic in arms, and like we just discussed, he offered to resign in a 3-year period, and about a week ago, he offered every kind of term and resource towards the U.S., but of course he was refused. And what's happening in Venezuela will eventually happen to Russia if NATO decides to increase its involvement on the side of the Ukrainians. And no, I'm not terrified about Russian nukes, because not even the Russians really know how many of their nukes actually work, how many can actually make it outside of Russia. I'd like to remind everyone, if you think that Putin is actually brave, remember